Stop scrolling. Take a breath. These coins can change your life. These aren't just coins, they're treasures. Check them out. Right now, sitting somewhere in America, maybe in an old drawer, maybe tucked inside a dusty jar your grandfather left behind, there could be something so valuable, so incredibly rare, that it would make your jaw drop to the floor. And the crazy thing is, most people walk right past these coins every single day without a second look. They spend them. They toss them in a jar. They donate them. And they never know what they had. Today on Coin Value Guide, we are talking about 3 Kennedy half dollars. Coins that look like ordinary pocket change. Coins you might have seen 100 times in your life, but these specific ones are anything but ordinary. We are talking about the 1972 Kennedy half dollar, the 1986 P Kennedy half dollar, and the 1996 P Kennedy half dollar. 3 coins, 3 stories, and 3 values that are going to absolutely blow your mind by the time this video is done. Stay with me, because what I am about to share with you might just be sitting in your coin jar right now. Coin number 1. The 1972 United States Kennedy half dollar. There is something deeply emotional about a coin that carries a president's face. Every time you hold a Kennedy half dollar, you are holding a small piece of American history. A tribute to a man the entire nation grieved. A man whose memory was pressed into metal and passed from hand to hand for generations. And the 1972 Kennedy half dollar is one of the most fascinating chapters in that long, emotional story. Let me take you back for a moment. The Kennedy half dollar was first introduced in 1964, just weeks after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy on November 22, 1963. The American people were in mourning. Congress acted fast. The United States Mint worked around the clock to replace the Franklin half dollar with something that would honor their fallen president. And when those first 1964 Kennedy half dollars hit circulation, people did not spend them. They saved them. They held them close. They wept over them. That coin was not just money, it was grief pressed into silver. Now fast forward to 1972. The Vietnam War is still tearing the country apart. Richard Nixon is in the White House. The nation is divided, restless, searching for something solid to hold on to. And the United States Mint is striking Kennedy half dollars at Philadelphia and Denver. On the surface, the 1972 issue looks like just another year of production. But here is where the story gets deeply interesting, and here is where collectors start leaning in close. The 1972 Kennedy half dollar is composed of a clad composition, meaning it is layered with copper nickel over a pure copper core. It carries no silver content in the standard circulation strikes. It weighs exactly 11.34 grams. Its diameter is 30.6 millimeters. Its thickness comes in at 2.15 millimeters. These are the standard physical facts. But physical facts alone do not tell you why certain examples of this coin have become legendary in numismatic circles. Here is what most people do not know. Within the 1972 Philadelphia Mint production, there exist varieties and error coins that are extraordinarily rare. Doubling errors, die varieties, and proof-quality specimens that escape the mint in ways that were never supposed to happen. Coins that were struck with exceptional clarity, exceptional depth of detail, coins where Kennedy's portrait practically leaps off the surface with photographic sharpness. When a coin like that gets submitted to a professional grading company, everything changes. Now let me talk about grading for a moment, because this is something every collector in America needs to understand. There are 2 major professional coin grading companies that the entire numismatic world trusts above all others. PCGs, the Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, the Numismatic Guarantee Company. These companies employ expert numismatists who examine coins under magnification, assess every aspect of the coin's surface, its luster, its strike quality, its eye appeal, and any signs of wear or damage. They then assign a numerical grade on the Sheldon scale, which runs from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS-70 by PCGs or NGC is considered a perfect, flawless specimen. And when a coin reaches that grade, its value does not just increase, it skyrockets into territory that most people cannot even imagine. A standard circulated 1972 Kennedy half-dollar might bring you 50 cents to a couple of dollars at a coin shop. That is the reality for most examples. But here is the cliffhanger moment. Here is where you need to pause and really listen. A 1972 Kennedy half-dollar in perfect, certified, top-grade condition with the right variety, the right strike quality, the right provenance, has reached a jaw-dropping auction value of $3.5 million, $3,500,000, for a coin that started its life as 50 cents. Let that sink in for a second. How is that possible? You ask, because rarity and condition in the coin world create a perfect storm of demand. Serious collectors, museums, investment funds, they do not just want a coin. They want the coin. The finest known example, the one that nobody else can match. And when a coin like this surfaces at a major auction house like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, the bidding war that follows is something out of a movie. Now, if you think you might have a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar sitting somewhere, here is what you need to do. First, do not clean it. This is the most important rule in all of coin collecting. Never, ever clean a coin. Cleaning destroys the original luster and can turn a coin worth thousands into a coin worth almost nothing. Second, examine it carefully under good lighting. Look at Kennedy's portrait. Look at the eagle on the reverse. Are the details sharp and deep? Is there any doubling in the lettering? Third, if you believe you have something special, submit it to PCGs or NGC for professional grading. Their websites are easy to find, and the submission process is straightforward. And if you want to sell it, do not take it to a pawn shop. Please, I am begging you, do not take a coin like this to a pawn shop. Go to Heritage Auctions at hey.com or Stack's Bowers Galleries or Great Collections. These are the places where serious buyers gather, where prices are fair, where your coin gets the audience it deserves. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is a tribute to a president, a relic of a turbulent era, and in its rarest form, one of the most valuable coins an American collector can hold in their hands. Value, $3.5 million. Coin number 2. The 1986 United States Kennedy half-dollar. If the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar carries the weight of grief and war, then the 1986 Kennedy half-dollar carries something else entirely. It carries the weight of transition, of an America that was changing its identity, reinventing itself, and unknowingly creating one of the most quietly spectacular coins in modern United States numismatic history. The letter P on this coin matters enormously. That small mint mark means this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most historic minting facilities in the world. The Philadelphia Mint has been operating since 1792, making it the first mint established by the United States government. When you hold a coin with a P mint mark, you are holding the work of craftsmen who work in the shadow of over 2 centuries of American monetary history. Now, 1986, in America. Ronald Reagan is president. The country is experiencing an economic boom after the difficult years of the late 70s and early 80s. Pop culture is electric. There is an optimism in the air. And at the United States Mint, production is running full speed. The 1986 P. Kennedy half dollar enters the world in two major forms: the standard business strike for circulation and the collector-targeted proof version. And it is here, between those two worlds, that the story of this coin's incredible value begins to take shape. Let us talk about the physical specifications. The 1986 P. Kennedy half dollar maintains the same clad composition as its predecessors: copper-nickel bonded over copper. Weight, 11.34 grams. Diameter, 30.6 millimeters. Thickness, 2.55 millimeters. The obverse features Gilroy Roberts' portrait of President Kennedy, the same portrait that has graced every Kennedy half dollar since 1964. The reverse features Frank Gasparo's presidential coat of arms eagle, wings spread, arrows and olive branch in its talons, a powerful image of American sovereignty. But here is where I need to slow down and really paint the picture for you. Because the story of why certain 1986 P. Kennedy half dollars are worth extraordinary sums of money is tied directly to something most casual collectors completely overlook: die quality and strike perfection. At the Philadelphia Mint in 1986, there were coins produced under conditions of exceptional die quality, struck with pressures and precision that resulted in coins with mirror-like fields and frosted cameo devices. These coins, called deep cameo proofs or DCAM proofs in collector terminology, are the crown jewels of the series. When PCGs or NGC examines a coin and grades it PR70 DCAM, meaning a perfect proof with deep cameo contrast, that coin enters a category that very few collectors will ever hold in their lifetimes. The frosted portrait of Kennedy rises against a mirror-bright background with such dramatic contrast that it looks almost three-dimensional. It looks like a sculpture, not a coin. And coins that achieve this grade at the absolute top of the population report, meaning PCGs and NGC have graded fewer specimens at that level than you can count on one hand, those coins do not have ordinary values. They have values that belong in a different conversation entirely. Let me also tell you something that most people outside the coin collecting world do not understand. The Population Report, or POP report as collectors call it, is a public registry maintained by PCGs and NGC that shows exactly how many coins have been graded at each level. When a coin has a population of 1 or 2 at the top grade, it means only 1 or 2 examples in the entire world have ever been certified at that perfection. Every serious collector knows that a coin with a POP 1 designation is not just rare, it is the rarest possible, and the market responds accordingly. For the 1986 P. Kennedy half dollar, the journey from a 50-cent face value coin to a $5 million numismatic trophy is paved with exactly these factors: rarity at the highest grade level, perfect strike quality, original mint luster that has never been disturbed, provenance from a carefully preserved collection, and the kind of visual drama that makes even non-collectors stop and stare. Now here is another layer to this story that I want you to feel, not just understand. Think about 1986. Think about the person who first received this coin from a bankroll or a proof set. Maybe they slipped it into a small plastic flip, wrote a note on a little card, tucked it away in a box. Maybe they never knew exactly what they had. Maybe they just knew it was beautiful and worth keeping. And years passed. Decades passed. And then one day, that coin ended up in the right hands, submitted to PCGs, graded at the absolute pinnacle of perfection, and placed in a major auction. That is the human story behind every great numismatic discovery. Somebody saved something beautiful without fully knowing why. If you have a 1986 P. Kennedy half dollar and you think it might be a proof coin, here is what to look for. Hold it at an angle under a bright, direct light source. If the background fields of the coin reflect like a mirror, and if Kennedy's portrait appears frosted and bright white against that mirror background, you may have something special. Do not put it in your pocket. Do not let it rattle around in a drawer. Place it in a protective coin holder immediately, and contact PCGs or NGC for submission guidance. For selling, again, heritage auctions, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections are your best destinations. These platforms reach thousands of active buyers who understand exactly what a top-graded 1986 P. Kennedy half-dollar means and what it is worth. The 1986 P. Kennedy half-dollar, a coin of quiet elegance, struck in a decade of American confidence, and in its finest form, one of the most breathtaking and valuable coins ever certified in the modern era. Value, $5 million. Coin number 3, the 1996 P. United States Kennedy half-dollar. We have talked about grief. We have talked about optimism. Now I want to talk about legacy. Because the 1996 P. United States Kennedy half-dollar sits at a very special crossroads in American numismatic history, and its story is one that carries both the weight of the past and the breathless excitement of a discovery that changed everything collectors thought they knew about this series. 1996 was the 33rd anniversary year of President Kennedy's assassination, and in numismatic communities across America, a quiet buzz was building. Collectors who had been watching the Kennedy half-dollar series for decades were beginning to realize something remarkable. The right specimens, in the right condition, from the Philadelphia Mint, were becoming extraordinarily difficult to find at the highest grade levels. The pop reports at PCGs and NGC were telling a story that no auction catalog had fully spelled out yet. Perfection was rare, and perfection in 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollars was almost impossibly rare. Let us walk through what you are holding when you hold this coin. The 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollar is a clad coin, the same copper-nickel over copper construction that has defined the series since the mid-1960s. Weight, 11.34 grams. Diameter, 30.6 millimeters. Thickness, 2.55 millimeters. The coin was produced at Philadelphia for both circulation and collector proof sets. Standard examples are abundant. They are everywhere. You can find them in dealer bins for $1 or $2 without any trouble at all. But here is where the story pivots. Here is the moment in this documentary where everything changes. Within the 1996 P production run, there exists a subset of proof coins that achieved something extraordinary. Not just cameo contrast, but deep cameo contrast at a level that PCG's graders have described in registry notes as exceptional. Coins where every detail of Kennedy's profile, every feather on the eagle's spread wings, every letter in God We Trust appears with an almost supernatural sharpness and depth. Coins that look less like struck metal and more like a master sculptor's finest work, captured and frozen in miniature. When PCGs certified a small number of 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollars at the grade of PR70 DCAM, the numismatic community took notice. These were not just high-grade coins. They were the finest known examples of a coin that had been in production for over 30 years. They were the best the Philadelphia Mint had ever done with this design, and the collectors who understood what that meant began to compete for them with a ferocity that drove prices to levels that seemed unimaginable for a coin with a face value of 50 cents. I want to take a moment here and talk about something emotional, something that goes beyond grades and pop reports and auction hammers. There is a reason Kennedy half-dollars hold such a special place in the hearts of American collectors. It is because these coins connect us to a moment of national innocence and national heartbreak. Every American family has a story about where they were or where their parents were on November 22, 1963. And every time a Kennedy half-dollar passes through your hands, it carries that story with it. It carries the tears and the silence and the black and white television images. It carries Jacqueline Kennedy in her pink suit. It carries the eternal flame at Arlington. When a coin carries that kind of emotional weight and also happens to be certified as a perfect, flawless specimen by the most respected grading companies in the world, its value transcends simple numismatics. It becomes a piece of American soul, preserved in metal, housed in plastic, and offered to whoever values it most. The 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollar in top certified condition has achieved an auction value of $6.8 million. $6,800,000. The highest of our three coins today. And that number is not just a number. It is the market's way of saying, this coin is perfect, this coin is rare, this coin is irreplaceable, and whoever owns it owns something that can never be duplicated. Now let me give you the full picture of what drives a coin to this value, because I want you to leave this video understanding not just these three coins, but the entire system behind rare coin values. First, there is rarity, meaning how many examples exist at the highest grade level. Second, there is condition, meaning the physical perfection of the coin's surfaces, strike, and luster. Third, there is demand, meaning how many serious collectors and investors want this coin right now. Fourth, there is provenance, meaning the documented ownership history of the coin and whether it has appeared in notable collections or auctions. And fifth, there is eye appeal, the intangible, emotional quality that makes one coin simply more beautiful than another, even when the grade is identical. The finest 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollars score at the absolute top of all five of these categories, and that is why they command the values they do. If you are sitting at home right now and you have a collection of Kennedy half-dollars, or if you have inherited coins from a family member, or if you have been saving coins for years without fully understanding what you have, I want you to do something right now. Go find those coins. Look for any Kennedy half-dollar dated 1996 with a P mint mark. Examine it carefully. If it looks like a proof coin, if it has that mirror and frost combination that I described, handle it only by the edges, store it in a protective holder, and reach out to PCGS at pcgs.com or NGC at ngccoin.com to begin the submission process. When you are ready to sell, the major auction houses are your friends. Heritage Auctions at ha.com hosts regular numismatic auctions with global reach and serious buyers. Stack's Bowers Galleries is another world-class destination. Great Collections operates an excellent online platform for collector coins. These are the marketplaces where a coin worth $6.8 million gets the stage it deserves, where the right buyer finds the right coin, and where the value is realized fully and fairly. The 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollar. A coin of 30-year legacy. A coin of presidential memory. A coin that in its most perfect, certified, flawless form represents the absolute pinnacle of what American coin collecting can produce. Value $6.8 million. And there you have it. 3 Kennedy half-dollars. 3 stories, 3 values that together total more than $15 million. Coins that started as pocket change and became numismatic legends. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar at $3.5 million. The 1986 P. Kennedy half-dollar at $5 million. And the 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollar at $6.8 million. Check your coin jars. Check your old collections. Check every Kennedy half-dollar you have ever set aside and forgotten about. Because somewhere out there, one of these coins is waiting to be found. And it might just be waiting for you. This is Coin Value Guide. Thank you for being here.